let y'all get in here right quick. That way we could conversate. Because there's a few things that I want to talk about. Most definitely. Trust and believe. It's a few things that I want to talk about. A few things that I got to get off my chest when it comes to my Knicks, and a few things that I got to get off my chest when it comes to the fans altogether. Something has to be done. So I'm gonna let you guys, get up in here. I'm gonna let you guys, you know, join the live stream, and then we're gonna get straight into action because there's a lot that we got to talk about. But I see I got two people in here right now, so I'm gonna start getting into what I really want to get into, and I'm gonna let you guys know how I feel. Since yesterday, I've witnessed a lot of people, bashing the Knicks. Some of the things that some people said was, well deserved. I have to admit that. I'm not going to sit up here and say and act like last night could be blamed all on how much energy the Knicks came in with. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to come in here and act like everything should be handed to Julius Randle to try to place all the blame on him. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk about a few things that I witnessed, a few things that I saw, and I want to really touch base on some of the fans out there and some of the commentators out there. Now, I want to address the commentators first and the fans first because I be feeling like sometimes you guys really don't be watching the game. Like, I feel like sometimes you just really don't be watching the game because me, I'm an analyzer. I really look at things. I go over things again to make sure that I'm right about them before I even talk about this. But last night, you guys heard me tell you exactly where the Knicks went wrong. It was mainly their defense. You can look at the Knicks last night and clearly see that their defense failed them. One person in particular, Evan Fournier. His defense fails him. He's not a good defender, and we are going to have to, you know, come to realization about that. I'm not going to blame it necessarily on the front office. Why? Because Evan Fournier has portrayed himself better than how he's portrayed himself on the Knicks. We have to be honest about this. Nobody's saying that he's a stout defender. Nobody's saying that he's a defensive player of the year caliber player. No, we understand that he does have his faults, and that's that. But we're not going to sit up here and act like we haven't seen better from Evan Fournier. I see a lot of people talking about RJ Barrett failed the team. I'm looking at them like, did you even watch the game? RJ, the guard who really went off against the Knicks was Chris Dort. Who was guarding Chris Dort? Evan Fournier. And if you guys want me to make a video about that, breaking down every time that Chris Dort cooked Evan Fournier, you will understand why we lost that game. I said in my previous video before that, to stop Sabonis from operating on the post. What happened? They let Sabonis operate on the post. I'm not going to say Julius Randle didn't try to stop him. Julius Randle played all right defense on Sabonis. But at the end of the day, you know that he is the head of the snake. So this has to be a collective effort. Not saying help Julius Randle to the point where, you're leaving people on the 3-point line open. No, I'm saying make sure that the big is, attacking once he come in. You attack him to get him off of his feet, to get him off of his, to get him off of his pivot. Then you move back to Turner. Turner got a couple of threes off last night, but he didn't kill us. It was Sabonis, in my opinion. It was Sabonis, and it was Chris Dort. Shout out to Off the Top Media. The Fournier signing is looking a lot like the Tim Hardaway Jr. signing, but even Tim Hardaway Jr. scored more. He just got no impact on winning like Tim Hardaway Jr. and did when he was here. We need Evan to impact winning, and you're exactly right. We need Evan Fournier to impact winning because that's not what he's doing right now. You get what I'm saying? Too many times throughout this season, we've seen him get beat on the break, beat on the drive, beat with the three. Is it time to trade Evan Fournier? Is it time for the front office to say, well, we've seen enough and trade Evan Fournier? Should we just go ahead and get rid of Evan Fournier? Is it time for him to go? For my viewers in here that's watching, let me know. What do you think? Do you think that it's time to trade Evan Fournier? Because that is the topic of the discussion today. Because when you analyze last night's game, you are left with the realization that it just might be time for him to go. We definitely should pick up the phone. Shout out to Off the Top Media. We should definitely pick up the phone for Evan Fournier. 24 games and you still haven't acclimated yourself to the team. We realize now that you are more of a defense liability than you are an offensive help. We see that the team just might be better off without you. At least Kemba Walker got offensive fouls. Evan Fournier doesn't even give you those. Why? Because he can't stay in front of his mans. I've seen countless of people last night talking about RJ Barrett. I said, RJ Barrett, where? RJ Barrett was guarding Karis LeVert the entire night. And when he wasn't on Karis LeVert, guess who he was guarding? Jeremy Lamb the entire night. And when I did see him guard Chris Dort, he stopped him. And Chris Dort passed that ball up. That's what happened. if you could go look at the tape, it's plain to see. It's right there. There's highlights all over the place. The Chris Dort did not score on RJ Barrett last night. So there should be no reason that RJ Barrett's name is even out there. Where does that happen at? You blaming a player that wasn't even defending that player. Where is that at? I see a lot of people blaming the front office. What about last year when y'all was defending the front office? It's getting, it seems like Knicks fans are just complaining just to complain and not complaining about what you actually see during the game. You have to remember that the front office is, we are recovering from years and years of mismanagement, years and years of mismanagement, ridicule from the broad media. And if you're watching this right now, I want you to share this out because I want people to really get this. So let me you know what, guys? Let me share this out right quick. I ain't even share this out to my Twitter. Let me share this out right quick because I think it's time for people to really notice. Hold on, y'all. Don't leave. We about to get into this. Don't leave. We about to get into this. I promise you. Don't leave, y'all. We definitely about to get into this. Now, I just shared this out to out to the world. Hopefully, more people step up in here. If not, then we're gonna keep it rocking. That's what we're gonna do. But I see a lot of people trying to blame the front office, right? How are you trying to blame the front office? Did Evan uh, and the thing that gets me about Knicks fans, when the front office first signed Evan Fournier, everybody was cool with it. They was happy. At first we were like, hold on, we hope they giving him a lot of money. And then when we seen the contract situation, everybody was cool with it. Everybody acknowledged that Evan Fournier was a better option than Reggie Bullock. You can't deny that. If you're a Knicks content creator or a Knicks fan, all throughout social media, you've been talking about you was okay with it. He was an upgrade from Reggie Bullock. Did you or did you not? I said that myself. I said that. So we're going to get that out of the way right there when you want to try to blame the front office because apparently if they were fooled, you were fooled just like them because we all said that he was an upgrade from Reggie Bullock. Exactly. Off the top media, man, we gotta listen, man, you gotta come on the show one day, man. You really gotta come on the show right one day so we could really talk about this. Off the top media said the front office got us in a position to make mistakes and still be able to pivot. We got picks, young talent, and friendly contracts to trade. Evan and Kimba haven't worked, but we can move on. Easy. Thank you. You just said something special right there. Yes, we do. They didn't know that Evan Fournier was going to be playing the way that he's playing right now. They didn't know that Evan Fournier was going to be not as efficient as he's been his entire career. They did not know this. Pardon me, I had to do something right quick. But they didn't know that Evan Fournier was going to be playing the way that he's playing. How was they supposed to know that? You got to understand that this organization is trying to build off what was already destroyed. They got you the draft picks. You got draft picks galore. You're still unhappy? Just like Off the Top Media said, you have young talent in RJ, Quickly, Obi, Grimes, McBride, Salmonis, Yokobitis, but you're still not happy. You still trying to blame the front office. How can you do that? I don't understand it. How can you blame the front office? They got a friendly deal with Kemba Walker for $9 million, but you blaming the front office when ESPN and all other media sites have continuously bashed the Knicks to the point where we were a laughing stock, and players themselves said it. Players themselves have already told y'all that they felt the Knicks was a laughing stock. This is something that players outwardly said they would not come here. But you will blame a front office who's coming in, building from the ground up, and they're not doing anything bad about that. How does that? Where does that make sense? They got Julius Randle on a beautiful contract, never exceeding 30 million. We got people like John Wall, who's not even playing, making $47 million. And you guys are complaining about the front office, saying that the front office is making mistakes. Where do they do that at? Where is that? Where do they do that at? We got 17 draft picks within the next 3 years. The only other team that has more draft picks than the Knicks is the Thunder. You're not happy about that? That's what you have a problem with? This is what you want to blame on the front office? When they drafted Obi Toppin, he was the best available player. We all can admit that. The only person that you could really say that was up there with Obi Toppin was oh boy that played for Sacramento. I can't really Halliburton. You're mad at the front office for that when Halliburton can't even stay on the floor, but Obi's been giving you his all. Where do they do that at? How do you blame the front office for a player's effort? How do you even blame a coach for that matter for a player's effort? You could blame a coach for a scheme, right? But I ask you this question again. Should the New York Knicks trade Evan Fournier? And I'll tell you my answer. The answer is yes. Why? I don't want to hear no excuse about you having a stomach ache, bruh. I don't want to hear that. I did if you did if your stomach ache was hurting you that bad, you should have not played. You should have sat out. I'm not playing if something is hurting me that bad to where I can't function. And not only that, you got out of the game and didn't tell them that your stomach ache was hurting you that bad so they could keep you out and put somebody in your place that maybe could produce. You didn't do that. So I don't want to hear about no stomach ache, Evan Fournier. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I don't want to hear about it. I'm sorry. What I want to hear about is how the Knicks are going to make the perfect trade for Evan Fournier. Because it's apparent to me that Evan Fournier is not gelling with the team. Shout out to Joseph Clark. He said Evan doesn't have the grit to play in New York. No, he doesn't. He does not have the grit to play in New York. He doesn't. I promise you. He does not have the grit. He does not have the grind. He does not put forth the effort to be on the Knicks. Last night, what I witnessed was every listen. I'm gonna tell you how we lost. You want to know how we lost last night? We lost because everybody was trying to make up for Evan Fournier's mistakes. Sure, Julius could have did better. Sure, Alex Burks could have did better. But when you look at the game in totality, what do you see? Who was the difference maker on the Pacers? It was Chris Dort. He was the one who was playing, who was scoring all the points. Brogdon wasn't going off like that. He hit a couple of shots, but Alex Burke had him covered. Kevin LeVert only scored 15 points. You know, he usually can go off. He's back now. RJ Barrett had him covered. Not to mention, RJ Barrett made him hit some tough shots. Karis LeVert hit some tough shots last night on RJ Barrett. The one play that RJ Barrett was guarding Chris Dort, what did Chris Dort do? He passed the ball off. I'm not going to blame the front office for that. I could blame Tom Thibodeau for that, for not realizing that you needed a player to stop Chris Dort. Maybe RJ with a bigger body can stay in front of him and put that body up on Chris Dort because Fournier wasn't cutting it. So I ask you, do we need to trade Evan Fournier? Has the ship sailed? Are you ready to call it quits? Are you ready to push in your hand on Evan Fournier? Shout out to Joseph Clark. He said the Knicks have a culture of the likes of Starks, Ewan, Spreewell, and the like. We have a tradition of defense. In some ways, our teams embody what New York is. I completely agree with you. We do. That's what our identity was built on. That is what we came into this season thinking. That despite Kemba Walker's inefficient play on the defensive end, the rest of the guys could cover that. Let's be honest. I feel like Kemba Walker was playing better defense than Evan Fournier. Why? Because at least Kemba Walker on some screens, he's going to get that offensive foul for you. on some drives, Kemba Walker is going to get that offensive foul for you. Why? Because he could get in front of the players and he's small. And the refs look at that. So could could Tibbs have put the wrong person on the bench? Or did he want to save face because of Fournier's contract? I hear people saying that we are not a team. Off Top Media said, "Hey, I didn't even know I could do this, man. I'm gonna start doing this for all you guys. Jump off, okay?" Off Top Media said, "Turner showed us what we want from the center position, but we got to take care of PG and wing first. But Turner looked really good. Turner didn't really scorch us like that, though. Not at first, at least. I don't think Turner was really scorching us like that. I feel, shout out to Joseph Clark. He said Kimba is scrappy, though. Kimba is really scrappy, though. And I don't know why you called out my name. I see, hey, Joseph Clark, I see you said Kenny on here, man. You called out my name, brother. That's my name, man. Yeah, man. Hey, man. You guys don't know, man. I appreciate you guys coming on my channel, man, and rocking with me. I love to build with you guys, man. I definitely love that. I definitely love that, man. I promise you, I do, man. I definitely love that, man. But should it be, since you said, "Oh, that's fire," should it be a fire sale for Evan Fournier right now? Should we be throwing him out there, you know, putting them on that hook, throwing them out there, and seeing if those little fishies are going to bite? Are we supposed to do that? Should we be doing that right now? Thank you for a fact, bro. Should we be hanging Fournier out there and getting him off the team? I think so. And the only player that I could see us doing that for right now, I'm going to be honest with you. We see that Damian Lillard is not going anywhere. He just confirmed, even with multiple reporters, that he's seeking that 2 year, 50 something $1 million deal from the Portland Trailblazers. Should the Knicks just bow their heads and roll with John Wall? Will we have to include some draft picks with that? Sure. But at least with John Wall, we could put Kimball Walker back out on the starting lineup if we have John Wall. Is John Wall the all be all? No, he's not. But at least he will be able to pass the ball, score about 20 points. He can do what Evan Fournier is not doing right now. We can live with having Kimball Walker, John Wall, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Nerlens or Mitch, whichever one you choose. How do you guys feel? Do you feel like that's a good lineup? Let me know. A lineup of Kimball Walker, John Wall, RJ Barrett, not Evan, excuse me, Julius Randle, and Mitch or Noel. Do you guys feel like that? Come on, let me know. Because right now, I feel like we got to have a fire sale. I feel like right now we are on the throes. We are on the throes. We are in the ditch right now, bro. So, what can we do to save this team? Should we trade Fournier while the contract is still hot? Should we trade him to Houston because Houston is not trying? Do you think Houston not going to take back that little bit of money of Evan Fournier? We the ones that's going to be taking back the big contract. John Wall is making estimated 40 something million this year, and he's sitting on a bench not being able to play. Should we bring him to New York for Evan Fournier? Joseph Clark said, I like the balance of that lineup. The lineup it'll be a defensive balance. That's what it will be. It will be defensively. Off the top, media said, I would take John, but Houston has to eat some of his contract. He will have to send back some money. I mean, they will have to, man, I don't know. I know that they not just about to take Evan Fournier. They got to get something got to be done because his contract is kind of hectic. And yes, Joseph Clark, Evan has great trade potential. Yes, he does. He does have great trade potential because his contract is not that bad. When you really look at Evan Fournier contract, he only making what, 18 per year? That's not a bad contract. And you never know, he might be able to fit with them. I would rather bring up Duece and let him work with our starters and let him grow. I mean, can we really say that Deuce McBride is really there yet? I mean, I know that we've seen him play in the G League, and I'm not going to sit up here and act like I didn't like what I saw. I'm not even going to sit up here and act like I didn't like what I saw from him in the Summer League. But can we really say that he, see, wait, if you have John Wall, Julius Randle is not going to ball hog. Why? Because John Wall wants to pass the ball. He wants to get assists. We know this about John Wall. He's Julius Randle is not going to be able to bully the ball. And I'm pretty sure that John Wall, from listening and knowing what the team brings and wants to be on a team that he can coexist with, I'm pretty sure that John Wall is not going to try to ball hog to where nobody else did, where he's the only person getting shots off. I didn't see him do it on Houston, and he didn't do it when he was even the man. I know it was people saying that him and Bradley Beal couldn't coexist together, but come on, man. You don't think that he can come and I don't know. I just don't think that Deuce McBride is ready yet. He's a good defensive player, and he looks like he has a scorer's mentality and he has scoring potential. But I can't necessarily say that he can lead this team without just submitting to Julius Randle. I believe that Deuce McBride will submit to Julius Randle because Julius Randle is the veteran. When you bring in a player like John Wall, Julius Randle is no longer the veteran. He, John Wall, in the beginning of his career was better than what Julius Randle's career has been. Remember, John Wall was almost averaging 10 assists per game and putting up 18, 19 points. He was doing that with Houston also. So, I mean, Joseph Clark said Evan is a spot shooter. Asking him to play defense is throwing his game off. To be honest, I would have kept Peyton and Frank for their size and deep. Never. I could not have kept um Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton was a bad shot taker. Elfrid Payton used to drive into the paint and just throw up the ball just because he wanted to have something on his stat. Because he's like, well, I know they want me, to be a better scorer, so I'm gonna just chuck this up and miss it. He'd miss everything. But I do agree with you, Joseph, on Evan as a spot up shooter, and asking him to play defense is throwing his game off because he is not a good defensive player. Um, wait, hold on. Off the top media said Wall has that gritty mentality that this team needs. Someone to spark our energy with some good plays if we are a little down. And I totally agree with you. And not only that, John Wall will commit on defense. He will play defense. He's not just about to let you score on him. That's the good thing about John Wall. Joseph Clark said, laugh out loud. I knew you'd say that. But he played defense. And that's what I agree. I agree. I agree. Peyton, that's what I will give Peyton. He did play defense. Even though Trae Young was cooking him, he did play defense. He played defense 99% of the time. That little 1% was in the playoffs where um Trae Young was cooking him. He was cooking him. I'm talking about purely cooking. But yeah. I think there should be a fire sale for Evan Fournier though. I really do. I think it should be a fire sale for Evan Fournier, man, because he not cutting it. He not cutting it. He is not cutting it, bro. He's not, man. He ain't cutting it, man. Well, I ain't gonna hold you guys too long, man. I'm not I'm not trying to take up too much of you guys' time, man. So, you know, I'm gonna head on out of here. We've been rocking with each other for 37 minutes. I hope that you guys was able to enjoy what I was talking about. And I hope that you guys was able to get some insight on what I was saying because hold on. Joseph Clark said Peyton could penetrate but couldn't finish, which is true. He was terrible. Frank was great perimeter defense player, but I'm getting angry about this season. I I wish Frank would have stayed. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I wish that Frank could have stayed because I felt that he was a defensive juggernaut, and I feel that once that little play happened to him on in the playoffs where Trae Young was able to beat him, I felt that that was mainly Tom Thibodeau's fault. You was putting him in there at the last play, and you hadn't even played him all game. Off the top media said, "Do you think Kimba should be inserted back?" That's tough for Tibbs to backtrack on. I definitely think that. Listen, the only way I could see Kimba Walker coming back into the lineup is if Evan Fournier is leaving the lineup. You get what I mean? That's all I could say. I believe that if that's what I believe. The only way that you can insert Kemba Walker back into the offense is if you take Evan Fournier out and put somebody that's going to be defensive to be able to shield from Kemba Walker. You get what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to put both of them. That's what made the starting lineup so bad was because you had two people on our two guards couldn't keep players in front of them. Well, I can't really say the same thing about Kimba. Kimba was just small, so he couldn't take body shots. He couldn't fight over screens that good. You get what I'm saying? But on some of those screens that Kimba Walker tried to fight over, he would get the offensive foul on the person who was doing the screener. As far as with Evan Fournier, he don't get past the screener. He don't stay in front of the person that he's covering. He doesn't do none of that. He's like a full-fledged defensive liability. Anytime a player has the ball and he's the one who's guarding him, I guarantee that player is going to score. Yes, bro. Joseph Clark said, Have a great one, sir. Be blessed, man. We're gonna always try to be blessed, bro. We're gonna always try to be blessed, man. Thank you. And blessings to you too. Off the top media said, keep up the great work, bro. It's only up from here, man. I hope so, man. I'm really trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers, y'all. I want to be able to, do things with this channel that, I didn't even think that I could do. I want this channel to be a very good channel that not only can I get my voice across on, I want you guys to get your voice across on too. So trust and believe in the future. I'm gonna open up them phone lines. I already got the phone. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I got a phone that you guys can call, but I'm not ready for that yet because I got to get my audience up first. I just don't want to, I want this to go to I want not only my voice to go to a broader audience, but your voice as well. That's why you see me up here, man. I'm saying I'm repeating what you guys are saying, man, because I need your voices to get across too, because I can't necessarily say that I'm always right. Somebody may have a better opinion than me and can make me cross over to what they're thinking. So you get what I mean? But thank you, man. Joseph Clark said, "Yes, sir. Frank was the guy you call out to D up a player." Yeah, and I felt like he got a lot of slack from, you know, I feel like he got a lot of slack from that one little play, and that kind of ruined his time with the Knicks, man. Joseph Clark also said, "Great show. Have a great day, sir. Be blessed, man. And you be blessed too, bro." Hinker, what's good, bro? He said, "When should we start to worry about the season being a disaster? How about now? How about now? Now is the time for us to be sitting up here worried because, like, this is becoming, you see the defeat in players. When you start seeing defeat in players, your season is a disaster. When you start seeing players like, man, oh, forget it, man, we ain't gonna win this game. When they automatically, when you see them slumping their shoulders, you see the camera pan on them, and they on the sideline looking like they lost and don't know what to do. You got some that's laughing, talking to each other. You got other one that's just staring off into space. It's pretty much a disaster, man. So I mean, now, now would be the answer to that, Hanker. And I want to thank you too for joining us, man, because like this is getting out of hand. If there was any trade, to make a long story short, man, with this video, if there was any trades to be made right now, I will have to say it will have to be with Evan Fournier. I don't care about what um Miles Turner is talking about. He wants to remain with the team, and timing is everything. I don't care about none of that. I'm okay with us having Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel. I wish their health could be better, and I feel that's what we got Taj Gibson and Jericho Sims for. But all in all, I really don't want. We need a defensive guard. We need a defensive guard who can not only defend but can score at a high level, who can give you at least about 19 per game. That's what the New York Knicks need. You get what I'm saying? If it's not that, then it's not nothing. I don't believe that we have a problem with our centers. Sure, they do need to upgrade with their health, but I don't feel that that is much of a liability when your guards. You have to have your guards right in order for what does every successful team in the NBA that's doing good right now have? When you look at the Warriors, you got Steph Curry, and right next to him, you got what? Jordan Poole, another guard who's going to make up for Steph's defensive liability. And once Klay Thompson is back, he's going to fulfill that need because Klay Thompson can play defense. When you look at the Phoenix Suns, what do you have? You have Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Both of them will defend. Chris Paul, we're not going to sit up here and act like Chris Paul is really a defensive liability. He'll foul you. Devin Booker will foul you. They don't care. They will do dirty plays. I see them do dirty plays all the time. And then when you have Mikal Bridges, who is a stout defensive player on your side, then you got something to work with. You get what I'm saying? When you look at the Utah Jazz, what do you have? You have Mike Conley, and then you have Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell played defense. He a smaller guard, but he plays defense. And then you got defensive stouts placed beside them, him and Conley. If you don't have your guard play has to be up to par. Basically, what I'm saying. If your guard play is not up to par, you're not gonna get anywhere. But like that, Ben, I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, man. If you're new to the channel and you're viewing this video late, I apologize. I hope, yeah, but I try not to include Gobert. I tried not to include Gobert because he's a center. Like I was trying to basically make a point with as far as our guard play. And that's the main reason why we should try to get rid of Evan Fournier. I hate to say it, but we need to get rid of Evan Fournier and we need to try to go get John Wall or get a shooting guard who's a defensive stout who can play top notch defense and stop guards from scoring. This is what we had with Reggie Bullock. This is why we were successful because we had Reggie Bullock who can defend guards. And then we did have Peyton, who I hate to say his name, but we had Peyton who could defend guards. So the other teams, they other players had to work. That's why we was one of the best defensive teams because we were able to stop guards. We don't have that now. And we could, Hinker said, hold on. Hinker said, yeah, that's Fournier signing was so strange, probably pushed by his agents. I think I think I think the Knicks were searching for the best available player. You got to understand the Knicks have been ridiculed, drugged through the mud for so long now that players don't even want to come there because they feel that it's a poorly run organization. So once you do get play um higher ups like Leon Rose, William West, Worldwide West, and Scott Perry and all of that nature, not only do they have to find players, but they have to gain those players' trust. See, if y'all really want to be technical, if the Knicks was willing to overpay anybody who they needed, we will have a team right now. But the Knicks are not willing to overpay. So by them not overpaying a player twice what they're worth, we're not getting the acquisitions that we need to properly run this team. You get what I'm saying? Because the Knicks could go get players. It's just that you're gonna have to overpay for those players. We would have had to overpay for Fred VanVleet. We would have had to overpay for Duncan Robinson. We would have had to overpay for Kendrick Nunn. If they not gonna get overpaid by us, they're gonna want to go to a team that they feel has a better chance of reaching the playoffs and the finals. If you really look at what's going on in the NBA, as far as when it comes to the Knicks, these players are not trying to play for the Knicks unless they are overpaying. Why? Because they feel that it's a poorly run organization. Simple as that. But I'd like to thank you guys for joining me. I want to wish everybody well, and I want to wish that you would have a happy day and be blessed, man. And remember to always if you're new to the channel, like I was about to say, if you're new to the channel and you're viewing this now, do me a favor, support your boy, like and subscribe, share this out. If you like my terminology and what I'm thinking, and you feel that it's an argument that you want to be able to make, put that out there. Let people know your argument and what you feel. And if you want to use my voice as that platform, do that, man. But always lead by example.